sometimes the results are tied to your mood. So I feel like I'm not doing well, so I don't deserve to be social. I don't deserve to go out and have fun on the weekend and have dinner with my friends or have a drink with my friends. And I don't deserve to come to the courts tomorrow smiling and being happy. And because I just lost yesterday, I'm losing in qualies. I'm losing first round main draw. I should be doing better. I work too hard, and I shouldn't be, and that mentality has changed for me because I think it actually changed a little bit last year with our episode with Brandon Holt. He told us on the podcast that he's kind of that way. If he has a big win, he's fine. If he has a bad loss, he's fine. You can talk to him after the match, and he's the same. And to me, I was also reading a book at the time, and it's like, what culture do I want to build for myself and my team? I don't want to be the guy in the camp that he lost yesterday, so you can't talk to him today, and that sort of stuff. And it didn't happen overnight because sometimes I'll be a little bit upset, and like I said, my mood would be tied to the results. But that's been a huge, huge, huge change since my episode with Brandon, since I was reading that book early this year in Monterey, and yeah, that's been a change. Or last year, forgive me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sounds like you were influenced by an author, but also a colleague, another player. How many players out there do you think that would you guess, just percentage wise, out of 100, have still kind of hold that mentality? I didn't win. I don't deserve to go to dinner. I didn't.
Yeah,
You think that's still a pretty high number?
I think so. I think maybe not as extreme as I was feeling, but I
Mm.
think there a really high percentage of players, their mood is tied to their results for sure, especially over a really long season where you actually don't have that much of a break. So if you think about it on the flip side, which is how I like to think about it, especially this year when I was being was or I'm relatively successful in my doubles. I played a lot of futures and won a lot of matches, but then I've also played matches where I would lose that I think I should win, and those were chances where in the past it would break me down, and then that would affect me for the next day, week, month. So this year I really changed and I said I'm doing too well to stop my own momentum. So one match, one bad practice, one bad week, like it doesn't matter because I'm doing too well to let this stop my momentum. There's too many weeks in the year for you to feel sorry for yourself and feel down on yourself and like hurt yourself because you think you deserve to feel hurt and feel mad and feel upset. So on the flip side, like I said, I feel like I really force myself to be in a good mood. Like I just make a decision that there are more important things than my result. It's a long year and just don't stop my own momentum.
Mm. Love that. I love the perspective you're taking, and then also the ownership of your own experience. And I think that, we can shift our state, and I think, oftentimes we whatever the external is has a profound impact on our internal state. But what you're saying right now is, no, I the external is the external, but I still have a choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
Uh,
I think obviously you know this because we talked on the phone a few weeks ago, but I've been journaling a lot recently. It's one of the things that I worked on, and one of the notes I took maybe about a week ago when I was watching my friend play. He was playing a match in um first round of a tournament, a 25K, and he was looking great for a few games, and then all of a sudden it was maybe 3 points of doubt. Just all it took was 3 points of doubt. He got broken, the set's gone. The second set went even worse than the first set did. So what I wrote in my journal that day was you can make a decision. Like you notice what happens. As soon as you notice it, as soon as you can notice it, you address it. You say, okay, this has happened. And now you actively make a decision, whether that's a tactical decision, whether that's an emotional decision where you have to do some sort of performance cue, breathe in, go touch the back fence, take your time, go to the towel, just whatever it is to you, you can one, be aware it's happening, two, make a decision to change it. And I've kind of implemented that. And I haven't had too many opportunities in matches because I've only played a handful of matches since then. But I have noticed it in one or two matches, noticed, okay, I played 3 or 4 points here with a little bit of tension. I can address it. I know it's here. And now this is what I'm going to try to do to get out of it. And it's not guaranteed it's going to work, but I'm going to give myself a try to do something different to impact that match. And I think that's also been a huge help too.
I mean, that's just such gold right there, you know, and the fact that you started by writing it down, but then you keep it in the front of your mind, and then
Yeah,
you experiment with it. You know, on tour, one thing that I noticed just working with players is just how hard it is to improve because you're always in, you know, performance mode.
yeah,
It's there's no off season really. You're out there all the time. And so these things that you're talking about, these inner developments, this is what improvement can look like, right?
yeah,
And, you know, I think when we're in action all the time, we have to find and manufacture ways to develop momentum. And this is
for
a really
sure.
great one.
And not
Um,
only develop momentum, but also don't stop your own momentum. Because that, like I said, like I feel like there have been weeks where I win a tournament or I win a few matches and I have the opportunity to stop my own momentum and I don't let it. I don't let, oh, I didn't get over the line. Oh, I played this moment really poorly. I was tight. I didn't let that stop me from, hey, you played that moment poorly. That doesn't mean you're gonna play the next one poorly. This isn't my identity now. My identity is who I am today. Every day I can show up and I create my identity. And it just because I played that situation poorly doesn't mean I'm gonna go into the next one poorly. And like I said, I just not only building your own momentum, but not stopping the momentum that you already have, I think is equally as important.